Um, I'm gonna come out and say a little something. I'll let my wife get in here in a little bit if she wants to. But it's up to her if she wants to or not. But I'll just tell all my subscribers good morning. I'm gonna try to tell everybody the full story, kind of how I met these Looney Tunes. Um, my wife's family. I think she tried, like I told last night. I just addressed it shortly. I didn't. So if I don't respond to any of y'all's stuff, I'm gonna try to get all this out, and then we can have fun afterwards. But uh, yeah, um, last night the most current thing they pulled last night was trying to. If you've noticed, I want to address this for my subscribers. My wife has a little black under her eye. No, it's not from me. She's had that ever since I think I met her. She's been checked out by multiple people and been to several places. People seen it, assumed it was from me. First of all, I don't like punching nobody, much less in the eye. If I was going to punch you, I'm going to punch you somewhere else. you know, and the eyes, I don't even, it's sensitive. I wouldn't even want my eyes messed with. I don't even like my feet being messed with for one. That's usually where I'm ticklish at. But anyway, no, this was really serious. And toward the end of that video, Zach got on there. That's her brother, and he had his nickname Brock on there. I don't know what they would have would have been implying there, but again, there you go. And then of course, because I watched that whole video, I watched that whole 6 hour and something video, and that it was right there toward the last. I was almost at 5 hours. I still hadn't watched the whole video, but it was like right around 5 hours. It was almost at the 5 hour mark, and it was somewhere within that last hour when all that crap started going down. And I remember that we were on there, like I said, we were on here for 6 hours and just having fun. And you always, like I said, you always seem to get a few boneheads out of the bunch. You get a lot of good ones, like, that's come out here and we've had our fun. I even came out last night and did a little bit of karaoke, not a lot, but a little bit. But no wonder. I mean, when my wife first met me, these are the people. Now, let me tell you, these are the people that came to my wife's rescue to come find me, but yet don't show any support. She's told in a little bit. She's told a little bit about that, but it's about them going all over the place trying to find me. My wife had a picture, had a graduation picture, which is the only time I wore a tuxedo. I don't know if we could find them to show, but if we find them, we'll let you see them. Um, but no, they've always had it in for me, and and like I said, the only thing I'm guilty of, as far as what I've done to them, is I've tried to straighten them out all this time. I've tried to tell my wife, that they wasn't no good. I have a bad habit, but a good habit, if you want to call it that, of knowing, a lot of the I go by your actions, what you say and what you're doing in front of me. I'm paying attention. So that was why a large portion of the way my wife was acting in the beginning, when I was resisting, you know, liking her family, that a lot of that came because of supposedly they were good as gold, I guess, before I came along. I don't know. I think they've been on some drugs though in the past or something. Something's wrong with them. I mean, I can even look at her mama, and her mama looks a lot similar to mine, and it scares me to death because not that I would back down from her, but just in the thoughts of it, just the thought of her looking similar to my mom and having that. She don't, and like I said, she don't really have that big build like my mother, but she's that natural build, but she, facially, and the whole look kind of thing, but yeah, I've always seemed to somehow, I mean, these are the same people. Again, they invite me to gatherings, all that, but yet I didn't have no input on nothing. And what you saw, what you got, you couldn't even suggest anything. It wasn't about trying to tear them down or trying to tear the gatherings down, but back when these now, like I said, we've been married 11 years, and that's the reason we got married early. Because um, a lot of their pushiness and their wanting her on her medicine and that whole 9 yards, that all that sleeping pill mess and all that junk. And oh, you need to take it. You need to do this. You need to do that. And like I said, I every time she there for the first several months or a month or whatever it was, that phone never shut up. It was either getting a call or a text. I never had my aunt, my uncles, or any of my family call me like that. Now, not even my dad did that. And I said, what in tarnation is going on in here? Like, how in the world are you supposed to even breathe? I'm like, you can't. This ain't normal. I mean, that's normal for you. Like I said, it's normal for anybody to get a checkup with family and, have them call and talk to you and have a good time. But this was more like, are you taking this medicine? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? And like I said, I saw something in my wife that I don't normally see out of people that go to places like that. I knew something was in there that they wasn't admitting to. These are the people that tried to put my wife away, tried to have her locked up from society. And truth of the matter is, now that the stunt was pulled to try to pull a stunt on me, because my wife, if you watch toward the end of that video, they was somebody, like I said, her brother and his old girlfriend, his little trophy, getting involved. And like I said, it. I didn't know the woman from Adam, which again, that's why I've said it.
That was a friend of his.
Well, that's why I've said I hate the women's movements. I hate anything to do with anything on the news because it's all drama. And they blow these movements out of the water. I mean, I can't tell you how bad in words I really hate something like that. And it is just, it blows my mind. And it just, we almost had a thing happen to us last night. See, my wife went down there. They said, "Oh, I'll buy you dinner and all that stuff, trying to sweeten her up, and all that." And I knew, and I told her just a while ago. I said, "Well, I knew they called the cops way before she went down there." And but I had Monty rolling, I had Jackie, I had Brandon's one of her, closest ones. He knew it was a stinker brewing here. He didn't, I said, Lord, they could cause somebody to have a stroke or heart attack having all this in here, and running somebody's night over, and everything else. I don't like dealing with stuff like that. I mean, I'll say hi to them, police and stuff, but they knew it was all garbage. Because, I mean, like I said, she's had that for as long as I've been with her. I mean, it's just something that you have to understand. It's something she has, or whatever causes that. I don't know exactly.
They said I had a little iron
but low iron or whatever. But she has that. If you see the little black under her eye, it's not from me. But no, I felt led to just kind of come out here and explain. So if any of my subscribers want to know why that was going on, they've had it in from me for the last going on 11 years. I have, like I said, I had been to, I counted up about 11 gatherings, 11 things they wanted to do, which all of them, they made sure they were well below, my standards of fun. Made sure it was the most miserable. Taking those little brats out, the little kids that's grown up now, taking the little brats out, and probably a few of the adults in the room that wanted to watch football and throw the shittiest karaoke. You think my stuff and my wife's stuff was shitty? You ain't seen nothing yet. I mean, I was actually trying to do shit, whereas their version of karaoke, they can't hardly carry a tune. They just being silly and goofy most of it. I sat there and watched. I said, "Oh my god!" Back then, it like to kill me. I said, "Man, if I had that microphone, I'd blow these people out of the water." They knew I could do it. I remember one time I was doing Cyndi Lauper, and I just happened to be doing that. And the look on that in face, you thought she was jealous that I could get my voice to sound like Cyndi Lauper. And yeah, but everybody has, and I had no money. I don't have the biggest house. Never had that much money, and they're all jealous. You know, for whatever reason, I don't know why. Because, like I said, I don't have that. I don't have nothing to be jealous of. I don't have cars. I don't have anything anybody would want. Maybe except for a computer, but they're not getting. They're not getting this. But anyway, but I mean, there's nothing for them to be jealous over. That I'm not famous. I'm not a big, celebrity out there. You'd think they'd be proud of somebody who's never been in jail, who's never done drugs, who's never drunk, smoked. You'd think they'd be somewhat proud of that. Now, am I saying they'd fully support me? No. Because, like I said, I didn't know them. So, if I've never met you, and good chances are I've never met anybody, in my lifetime, except for a few people that I went to school with, which I can name, and that I have put out here on videos before in name only. And they were not black; they were white. As I said, I never went to school with hardly any black kids. I'm not saying there wasn't any. There was definitely a couple, and especially in high school when I went to certain classes. But no, uh, the stuff. If you've never noticed, I know nobody's brought it up on here except for who did last night, and supposedly, Zach here. He was going by Brock, but his real name Zach was. He was on here looking around to see what videos I guess he wanted to put on his playlist on his thing. So I told my wife, I said, well, in one way, we came out on the better end of it because they were stupid enough to get reeled in. And they had no audio proof, no video proof. They had nothing. And poor my poor wife, she had, the cops were just doing what they had to do. But they waste their time on some false accusation made against me, and so the ending of it was what it was. A restraining order and a no contact order was put in place. So she's now, for sure, I've been trying to get her to stay away from him for years. But for sure now she knows she has to stay away from it. Not just cause like I said, anything I say, a lot of people don't listen. Which like I said, I can't make my wife. Like I said, I told her and I've told everybody this. I can't make my wife do it, but I've been telling her for years, that I smelt this rat boiling up in there. And I was always met with, well, you don't know him, Wet Will Derrick, or something like that. I'm not saying she said it in that mean of a way, but I mean, she really wanted to try to put these over. And for what, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. They look like a bunch of, I could just tell, my pawpaw, my pawpaw was about the size of her pawpaw, but just maybe, he's a lot old, he's a little bit older. But, my pawpaw was never, he was always laid back, easy going. He never made up stuff, he never acted up like the way I saw this. And I've never, I mean, I could just look at somebody sometimes, and oddly enough, I'll get these gut feelings about somebody, whether I like them or don't. And it don't normally take me that long. And, for anybody to just come out here and say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, well, don't ask me questions. Leave that to my subscribers if they want advice. If you're out there, I had one other thing I was going to address too. If you're a stripper out there, that's your business. If you want to be a male gigolo like Buff Bagwell, you're a male and you want to do that, that's your business. But I am not here to, take in people's habits, bad habits, and sit there asking me whether they should take their clothes off or not. That's y'all's call. All I know is when I'm on here and when my wife's on here and in a good mood and feels like coming on the video, oh, it's quiet right now. There ain't even nobody on it. But all I know is the 39 of us now. There's 39 subscribers. The 39 of us are on here trying to have a good time, and I come out, and whenever they're on here, we have a little decent conversation. So, and whether it leads to any of them coming up and actually visiting, or if they can, or whatever, I've had several people interested in my wife's offer, and everything, but nothing has come of it as of right now in person, or even on the phone right now. But of course, they talk to us a little bit more, and you never know. But I just wanted to address what if you've noticed or have noticed anything with my wife's eye that's not from me. Trust me, like I said, I'd punch somebody somewhere, anywhere but the eyes. I mean, I'd have to, like I said, that's a sensitive area for everybody. And like I said, and usually, like I said, usually I never have to, usually you always use my mouth, so I don't normally have to, you know, resort to anything physical. Although, a rare time or two, yeah, in my time, yeah, there have been a couple of times where somebody will come out and will do that. My own mother had done it once. I had no choice to try to get her out of my house. You know, she, we had a little something there, but she caused it. My mama was stubborn, and she just wouldn't budge. So I had to, I didn't do nothing to her that bad. It was not even that bad. I tried to get her out, and of course she, ow, like I said, I barely even grabbed her on her arm and applied a little pressure. I told her, I told you to get out. She smacked my hands first, so I smacked her back, and then she still wouldn't get out of my house. So I applied a little pressure and made her get out. Said, go on. Because I wonder several times. I kept telling her that night we were at home watching stuff on TV, and I was watching my WrestleMania DVD. And she comes out late at night, and she's one of these con artists too.
I was getting ready to go to bed.
She'll put a smile on, just like a lot of the women will. They'll come to your door and they'll be all smiling. I've seen this. My mom's done it. She'll be all smiling. She'll make you think nothing's wrong, and then the problem with her is that, unfortunately, her son knows that something didn't feel right because it being so goddamn late anyway. Like I said, this was like, oh my God, most people would be in bed at like 10:30, 11 o'clock, probably besides me. But I mean, most people wouldn't even be. And I actually asked her, sometime after that, as we were trying to, off and on, I gave her a few chances, even after that, tried to, and she said, oh, good, she tried to use that whole ghost man in the sky business and all that bull and the whole 9 yards and that whole religious thing on me. And she didn't really apologize. She sort of, in her own way, in her own words on the text. I can't remember how she worded them, but in her own way, she blamed me for what happened. And I said no. She was upset that I wouldn't let her take my wife to jail for something that my wife didn't really even hardly do to me. There wasn't, no biggie. She was upset, and her foot got on my foot. And she did, like I said, but I had my shoes on it. And like I said, it wasn't like my foot was broke. I mean, my God, my wife is, wife is, Lord, don't let her fool you, but I'm just saying she's a foot less taller than me. And and she's, and everybody in there saw, everybody in the pig had saw that. And I told everybody it was no big deal. And nobody made a big fuss about it. We got out of there that day. Because, see, we used to sit in there. I used to sit in there and just kind of, because we used to always walk home. But, no, I wanted to come out and, I don't know. Like I said, her family and what happened to me with my family, they're hard to explain. But her family always, she's the firstborn, and I always tried to call. And I remember not long ago, about it's probably almost been a year now or so, or at least it feels like it. But the most recent time I really let him have it over the phone. I mean, I cussed him. I cussed her, grandpa out and all that. And I said, and I can't remember half the shit I said or how I said it. I rule off the cuff, and I mean, I let him have it. Because, like I said, he always, and I can't remember now what it was, but something was going to happen, or they was threatening to do something. I don't remember now what it was. Come over here, and I said, you never do anything for her. And like I said, if I hadn't have seen it my own self, like I said, it's kind of like that Susan thing. You could sit there and look at him from afar, right? But otherwise, you ain't gonna get nothing else out of it. I ain't saying, oh, Derek wants to hug or has anything. No, I'm saying if there was going to be anything to be good said about him, or at least, anything of any time spent, or whatever they wanted to make out of it, they had their chance. I've long said I wish I never went to any of their gatherings. I wish they never bought me nothing. I never asked for them to. They gave me money when I didn't ask for it. They've bought me and her dinners, video games, and a whole bunch of other stuff. They even try to take claim for this stuff that was sent through the mail from Walmart. And again, I whether or not you know they want to, and like I said, I have no proof. But I assume it was somebody from Walmart who sent it. And because somebody probably it was right after I got that phone, so I assume it was something with that. But anyway, because I don't want to give them credit for something I can't prove. You know what I'm saying? So, and all the while, yeah, Derek, it was her size and yada yada yada. They could try to point to all that, but I knew that's what they would try to say every time she's tried to say. Just like when the time we alluded to that one time around or on my birthday. I can't remember. It might have been a day before or right on my birthday, but you know, Zach, then a lot younger, and her other little brother thing, come in there with you know her mom in tow inside the pig, and so she had to go and call, and had to go tell them, you know. And then, of course, they say, "Oh no, they're supposed to be in school," and I don't know what they said. The mom usually does. I don't know. I know what my mom usually does for a day. But she's usually a house cleaner. My mom is. Normally, she's real particular about her house. But as far as her mom, I don't know what she does. But as far as I know, she could have been a drug addict and never, because I never got to know these people personally. I never asked them any real personal questions. The only things I ever answered, to be honest with you, was, they might say hi if I'm sitting there and Jessica's just sitting there, and if they're eating, and we just happen to be. I remember there was a time where the first time when I came in, they were bitching that me and my wife got this fucking table. It wasn't like it was a special design table, like somebody handcrafted it and put our names on it or something. It's just a regular old table, nothing. It was nothing. I took it as nothing. I didn't make no big deal out of it, and the big deal about that was, and this was the first gathering. This was like 2011. This is November of that year. So they had two gatherings. They had back to back. They had the Christmas one too after that. But no, every time that they have, you know, done anything, they always half ass around. Now, if it be somebody else, one of them other kids, oh my God, they probably got them cars, a bunch of other things, probably give them money for whatever, college, or whatever they're doing. Ain't no telling. But I know they bend over backwards for a lot of these other little hoodlums that were shit out by these three or four women that her grandmother, she calls her mama, had. So they shit out about three apiece. So that makes about 10 other people that you don't need, that didn't even ask to be here. And then you got to include that three extra men in the room. That's not counting me and her grandparents. So right there's you a good house full. And then whoever they bring along, sometimes they might be one or two extra. But like I said, and like I said, David, that nobody, like I said, I remember in 2012 when we went over for an Easter gathering. I was sick. My wife was sick. We had just had the flu, just got didn't feel good. Didn't want to do anything about it really, and wouldn't have even done what they did had I not alluded to. Hey, I'm actually got a flu. Don't you see how I'm acting? I mean, when I'm sick, when I'm that sick, I don't talk. I don't usually do a lot. I try to stay up and watch TV, but I'm not this talkative. I'm not that active. You can tell a difference, just like with anybody. If you're sick, you don't feel good. But it's very rare. I hardly ever get sick. But that's how much respect they had. Everybody else out there could have had it, and still don't know if anybody caught it. But I mean, we were around everybody, and it wasn't our choice. If I was given a chance, and I told my wife this, I said I might have made her mad, but I should have just stayed my goddamn ass home. And she could have chosen to leave me if I wouldn't have went over there and seen them people if she wanted to. If I could have went back and fixed it, I'd have just stayed my fucking ass home. There, because she tried to do it, like I said, she tried to sprinkle it up and make it all sound good, but they're just nothing to them, and I can't help it. You know, I don't know what she wanted me to see in them. She said, "Well, Derek," and I'll give you a couple examples. Well, Derek, they used to like your music. Derek, they used to do this or that or whatever it was, but I know the music thing was brought up for one. And I'm like, they act like there's nothing. I mean, they'll, oh yeah, that was mine. I think that was one of my songs I played at my wedding, kind of thing. They'll half-ass acknowledge that, or something. And like my wife alluded to in that video last night, that they for some reason like Johnny Cash, and about the only thing he talked about was killing and guns and all kinds of junk in his songs. And so one time we were in the car, in their car, and all her the rest of my wife's bratty family in there, and her damn brothers and shit was in the car, and and her mother. I think she just wants to be a fame whore too. I think that's what the problem is. They can't be famous in the way that most people are, like on TV. But that's why they're doing it, because they want some kind of fucking attention. Like, I asked my wife, I said, when they pulled this latest stunt last night, I said, did they even say what they did all this shit for? Did they not have anything better to do? And I'll tell you, that's what I'm saying. She's been around them with me in tow. Had that little black around her eye forever. They've never said one goddamn word. Not one. They have been they and like I said, it's amazing how you could be doing nothing, as I've alluded to before. You could be doing nothing, and there'll be people. Like I said, I get a lot of people that I don't know that come out here, or like my wife alluded to, some one or two of them came out of that stuff in Ohio, and she don't want anything to do with them. She knows who they are and what they were, and those kind of people, and she don't want anything to do with that. Now, just because I said, just I really enforced to not want anything to do with it myself, but I said, if you want to hear about their latest fight, their latest drama, you know, then there you go. That was all you were going to get. And they would ring the phone off the hook. When that first started, that was like, I like to never got that shit stopped. And I just had to keep pressuring. That's a lot of my stress too. A lot of that got started. But again, my wife, thought she could go backwards and go check on some of that. And like I said, that don't even account for, the Facebook stuff that she went out there and tried to get, some of the other distant family, which is, some of them are black, but she don't have anybody that hangs around her that's black. But they were some distant people that had probably seen her son, in her in her younger years, but
Yeah.
they just like a bunch of just like these up there. They're no fun. They're just drama. And they oh, I don't know you, and of course you don't. Like I said, and just last night we had that thing here where just because Zach wants to jump in and get somebody involved, the other one has to bleed him and start and egg it on and make it worse, which is why I wanted to come out here and kind of make a lot about this and kind of go in deep detail as much as I can about you know this problem we've had for 11 years. I mean, no wonder me and my wife don't want nothing to do with them. Or and mine. I mean, if you tell mine to leave us alone, they'll leave us alone. Mine's not that bad. I mean, my mom might be the only one I would have to worry about or something. But I think it's But like I said, when I told mine, I said, "Hey, I was 36, 35 with my mom, 36 when. Well, I was still 35. I was still out a couple of months being 36. But yeah, when I was 35, I cut everybody out. I cut ties with everybody, and my family, my wife's family. But my wife's family just they pushed their last button. Their stories. There was time that my wife uh, had gotten a call from her sister, and uh, so I remember one time when that day happened. I think she called her grandma and was telling her about it or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I had to get on the phone because she was getting upset. My wife was. So I told her, I said, let me see that phone. And so I in my own way, of course, I get on there and I say, well, who the hell else is it? You know, who else was it? I said, the only other person she brings up is that one that she saw in Ohio, and she ain't down here. I said, so who else is this and sister? I said, I know a difference between a young lady's voice and a grown woman's voice. I said, I know the difference between her damn mother, which would be a lot older than her sister. I said, I know the difference. I ain't a fool. And I said, furthermore, she asked to speak to Jessica. I think because I was the one that answered because she had her phone near me. I think that's what it was. My wife, I think, was going to the mailbox and back or something or doing something. And that's one of the rarest times I ever picked up the phone and answered, which I wish I didn't do it that day. But anyway, it furthered more. It furthered, my, dislike for him even more. Like I said, the only thing that ever changed is somebody get a new toy, somebody get a new man, a new woman. Like I said, you could, the latest drama-filled person that they could find out there on the street. These people, like I said, if I went to these people and I tried to tell them what this family was like and how bad I actually hated them and for why, and not to tell watch this video or that, but it's like I said, I know more about them in the 11 years I've met her than my wife knows about them previous. You might as well go there because nothing they've done previous is really factual. Other than the fact that she has memories of that, but I mean they've acted up so bad, you can't talk good about that. I mean they only did it for spite, just like my family. That's why I said they only did it to shut you up and oh you're a kid, so I feel like I gotta do something. Yeah, you gotta do something, but you don't have to do what you did. But you did. So I like I said, the only one that ever turned on me was my dad, Like I said, Mark was always Mark, and Melissa had always been Melissa to me, and Papa Papa, as far as my side goes. But you know, my wife has always had issues with them ever since she came back. It really started a little bit before she met me when she come down here. They made like a shed and all that stuff, and just not letting her go and do as much. She got conned in down to come back down here, or to come down here when they moved down here from Florida or somewhere. And at that time, so her mom sweetened her up, I guess, and said some things. And her mom was like my mom, and been kind of like a distant on and off relationship. She would have things to do with me, and mine's slightly different. Like I said, because there was some different, but there is some similarities when you think about. Yeah, if you take out that my wife has traveled more than I have, and the fact that she's seen more of her family than I have of mine, and no fault of my own. I mean, when I made family uh, visits or whatever, I went with whatever visits But if they said, "Hey, do you want to go to the Layman reunions?" I always said no. I could just imagine if her family, just what I know of them in the last 11 years, if they ever tried to throw a yearly thing, it would be fucked over. I mean, I could just see everybody pulling each other's hair out and it being like speaking of Jerry Springer, which I don't like him, but that'd be 10 times worse. The security on that show wouldn't be able to pull these apart, I don't think. They'd have to have the 82nd Airborne in there. I could just see all these black, white, mixed people fighting and fussing with each other and my wife's family. And just they think anything that they've seen is bad. They ain't seen nothing yet. This would be like more than a whole week of shows. Like I said, put them on a lie detector test, and and they'd be sunk. And that's all they know how to do. That's all they've known how to do is lie. They didn't know me from nowhere, and yet, like I said, they go out of their way to find me. And I guess they just thought, like I told my wife, the only thing I can contribute to is maybe they thought, oh, he's just like the rest of them. He'll just sit there and go along with the program, and he'll just be like a nun or whatever, or just some ghost or something. He won't say nothing. He'll just keep quiet. See, that's what they didn't know. I wasn't like that. I'll speak my mind when I need to. Yes, I'm a quiet person, but I'll say stuff when I need to. And they found out early on I wasn't scared of them. And oh yeah, her papa's tried me. Oh yeah, he tried saying he was going to do this or do that, and all that stuff. And I always said he'll never do it because he's got a job and he's a repairman. And I don't like to give any credit to him. Like I said, that's why I knew he wouldn't do it because he's too stupid. You know, he might be stupid in some respects, but I knew always when he did that in the past, I knew he was just full of hot air because I said if he did it, he'd lose a lot. I mean, you go to jail, you lose your house, you lose your freedom, you don't have a job, you don't have anything. But yeah, they've been trying to find some reason, trying to get me cornered all this time. You know, my wife sometimes had her moments when it comes to this unicorn bestie thing, and because she wanted it so bad, sometimes me and her to have a heated thing, and she because it bothered her so bad, and I was just trying to get her, yeah, look, let it go, and it ain't worth stressing out over, you know. And she'd have to go outside, cool off, and she'd come back. Like I said, my wife, it's like I said, it's not anything that she doesn't do. Like I said, it's something that she'll do if it, she can't find a way to, in that moment, compromise somehow with me. And at times she has done that. For some reason, she just, stuff gets in there, and it's just, it's something, I guess, that she. But like I said, she'll come back and talk about it, and then she'll be all right. We've had stuff like that and everything, and it's just like, you expected it, but not. I didn't really expect it over this, unicorn besties thing. But she wanted it to happen that bad, and she, stuff like that gets on her mind, and she just wants it to happen so bad. Well, Derek, you said it. It's been well. It's called it's been so long too. And like I told her, I think ever since she got rid of those rings and things, and just, I think it pretty well calmed her down a little bit. Plus, she told somebody out here, and they gave her a whole bunch of stuff just in case, somebody did show up, they'd have a little something. They didn't have to. They didn't have to. I mean, like I said, she went up there and didn't have hardly any money or nothing, but they just felt led to give her all that free stuff. That me and my wife showed off in the video. But like I said, everybody has that kind of stuff. I wouldn't put it past my own mother and them fighting and fussing. But did I see any of it? No. Did I have video of it? No. No audio. I just know it probably happened because I know my mom made me do what I had to do to her. But they won't tell you that, and that's the thing. Because I can tell you there was a time I remember when I was a kid, and people said, "Oh, you got a good memory." Yeah, like I said, things had happened. I know my dad and my mom. He slapped my mama one time, and she had tore one of his shirts. I remember it was and scratched him or something. When it was one of the times was in one of their places or something. I don't remember now what that whole deal was over, but I remember that. And I also remember the time my dad. The only time I ever seen him get real physical and have no choice but to get physical was those neighbors that threw that bucket at my dad's black Chevelle. That car is a special type of car. It's an older model car, and he really took a liking to it. And they threw the bucket. I think it might have even had water in it or something. And anyway, my mom and my dad, I think they'd had some issues with those neighbors. And they were the only neighbors. They wasn't, it was just, it was like a trailer. We had a house, but they had a trailer. I don't know if they were drug addicts or not, but I tell you that day, I remember I was sitting in the car, me and Darren was just little kids then. And all I could remember is just seeing my dad and them up next against the car. My dad, I didn't really see him punching. I didn't really get to see the action, but I know he did punch him, and do whatever physically he had to do. There wasn't no cops called. Yeah, it was just they left us alone afterwards. And you say, man, that. You'd think to keep on if you lived that close. Well, you think, but they learned. It never happened again. I think my mom had moved shortly afterwards. I think even then, anyway, I think it was somewhere after. And but yeah, like I said, you'll have something happen, and everybody does. And I'd say there've been times where somebody's done something to somebody and probably said, "Hey, that's a heat of the moment thing. It's no big deal." It's like, but like I said, that whole thing where they came out here and her people was trying to get me, and like I said, they've always been looking for some excuse, and trying to tell me that I gave her that black under her eye. Lord have mercy. And everything. I said they, yeah, they've been seeing her with that black eye forever, and they never said one word about it. To my knowledge, they've never said a word about it. We've been to gatherings, multiple gatherings in the past. Nobody dared. If anybody was going to say something, they were all right there. You mean to tell me them 30 something people in that damn gathering couldn't have said, "Hey, what's wrong with your eye? What caused all that?" And of course, then yeah, you'd have to assume you'd have to answer something, and then you wouldn't want to, trying to get everybody to come. I don't know that we'd have made it home had that ever happened. Which it's just something my wife, she don't feel good, and that's just from her. Like she said they said it's from low iron, so. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say anything has ever not happened. But as far as anything between me and my wife, but my God, sit there and accuse me of something that I wouldn't have done and never do to anyone, much less, you know, her, because me and her have been together for so long. And, like I said, she stomped on my foot one time. And like I said, when she's really, really, really upset, and there was one time where me and her had like a wrestling match on the floor because she's so upset, and I was trying to get her to calm down. And she just, like I said, she's really upset about something. I don't remember what it was, but she's having one of her. Nothing I said, nothing I could do, and I was trying to just get her to calm down, and she's like a small, like I said, just like a John Cena or something. When she gets like me, when you get that adrenaline kicked in, there's nothing like it. But but she's had, like I said, she's had a couple of times where she's tested me on some stuff, and she's sort of stubborn. But we've forgiven each other for everything that's happened between us. Like I said, they've never been at my house. The only time they've ever been up here is to drop something off, her family, and go on. They only stayed like 5 or 10 minutes. I didn't run them off. Although I'll give you this: the last couple of times, I didn't want them in the house, and I didn't even want to look at them. Uh, Her mom's new man, I didn't even want anything to do with him. Because like I said, that's all it is. It's just the next drug addict, next flunky or whatever, the next idiot that'll fall for these people's con artist job, and it's just ridiculous what they do. I know all these people work, and they see, like when we was trying to get them to spend time with us, and they would have helped my wife. Imagine how much less stressful she'd be, and how much less stress she would have caused me if they'd have just done some stuff with her. If they'd have came around, and that's what I was saying earlier about me and my wife getting married a month in. That I always heard this get brought up. Well, Derek, you know, they say that they're upset at you for getting married a month in. Well, I didn't want to. I also was not going to, I wasn't going to be the biggest fan of a church wedding, but I had thoughts and plans back in the day of doing something. And doing something a little bit nice, a small something. I mean, the only wedding I ever went to was my Aunt Regina's, but that was it. So I'm not a big fan of going to other people's stuff, even though, and I don't even know them. But like I said, I they say that's really, I mean, my wife tried them. I mean, 2 or 3 weeks in, her mom came out here putting my wife, which would be her daughter, in between all the garbage they were doing, you know, and my wife went over to Athens and that day, and her mom was showing out and all that stuff. My wife's just like, "Take me home. I don't want to be in this. I don't want to be between you." And I call him dumbass, but dumbass. But I never heard anybody named dumbass. But you know, she told her mom that day. She said, "Take me home. I just want to go home." And like I said, they if I was such a bad guy, they wouldn't have bought me all that shit that they bought me and her. They bought her stuff. Like I said, most of the stuff I could go find in this regular store. Good morning. I was just out here clearing some air uh, on some family stuff that happened to my wife. I was kind of going into a full story. So, uh, but good morning, everybody. Um, they tried to throw me under the bus last night. Her family trying to pull one of their stunts. So, if you go back and watch this video, yeah, me and my wife's had our scuffles and fusses before a little bit, you know, but it's not nothing that me and her hasn't, forgive each other for. And a lot of it was due to her family. Like I was on here saying, she's had her times where she's tested me a time or two, but people's like, why do you stay with her? Well, because she loves me and I love her no matter what happens. But a lot of this stuff, a good 85-90% of it is because of her family and my family not doing nothing. And being boarded up in the house causes you to get like this. Like I said, when there's nothing to do, nothing it was one out here. I think somebody.
It's that one.
Yeah, but no, we're just clearing the air. But like I said, we hardly ever. My wife and I hardly ever get into any. Oh, that's all right. Oh, wait a minute. I hate that stuff. Now, but me and my wife, like I said, we've had our ups and downs a lot, off and on. But most time it's just words, and we'll say the most hateful things sometimes back and forth. But at the end of the day, she knows we don't mean it, and it's just heat of the moment stuff. She'll go out and go for her walk or whatever it is, and then she come back. And like I told her, the worst thing you can do is start telling everybody your personal business and telling them, well, we had this fuss or whatever. Like I was saying, one time my wife got so worked up, and even though I was trying to calm her down, me and her had like a little wrestling match on the floor. It took all I had to get her to calm down. There was some people out here doing some work, and they thought we was killing each other in here. My grandmother and them came up here. What's going on in here? And of course, my wife, she didn't come out and that day. And well, this better not let this go on anymore, And this prophet and all of them got involved. Well, anyway, like I said, we've had our ups and downs, but none of these people have never seen me or my wife, never been around us even 10% of the time we've been married. They refuse to do anything with my wife or myself. Like I was going to allude to earlier, she 2 or 3 weeks in, my wife tried to get everybody to meet me, tried to that whole deal where everybody wants everybody to meet everybody deal and all that stuff. Yeah, my wife made a mistake of telling them, hey, we got married at the courthouse and all this stuff. But like I said, it's we got so much there and in common, and there's no drugs, there's no alcohol, there's no nothing, no cigarettes or nothing. It's clean here, as far as me and my wife. and we just have to make do with. Like I said, that's why music's a good tool for me and my wife. We have a good time, and we have fun with that. That's why we came out last night and did a little karaoke, a few couple songs. I was trying to find stuff to sing, but no, if you go back and watch this video, I mean, my wife and I, yeah, like I said, but they never have any evidence of anything, and they just poor police department had to waste their time last night, and so now they've been put on the spot. Now if they do anything, they definitely get dealt with, and I don't think they'll want that. Well, but my wife, she's had a lot of history with them too. They locked her up in the shed and done all kinds of stuff. She can come on here if she wants to and tell you a little bit about that. But I just, because I wanted to address this little thing that they tried to get me on. Anyway, here you go. I'll come back in a few minutes.
Yeah, it is true that I got locked up in a shed with a lock in the. My mom was letting me live in a trailer with her for a little while. When I first moved up here, I didn't have much clothes. I didn't have much shoes because all my clothes were at my dad's. And I forgot to pack up, my clothes that I had for my dad. And because I left my clothes on there because, because I was going back and forth, because they both had half custody of me, till my dad got full custody of me. Then I was living there, 3.5 years. And Delmas, I call asshole, he told the cops that night that I tried to kill him in his sleep. Said I had a steak knife. Said that I was on the top of his chest trying to stab him. And it wasn't even true because I was locked up in the shed that night. I had a lock on the door. How can I get out and do that? So I had to be my mom because that's the only person that slept in the same bed as him. I don't date my mom's men. I didn't want nothing to do with my mom's men. That's my stepdad's. She marries them the first time she meets them. Let me get this clear up. When she first meets them, she marries them right away for the money. This is what she's told me in person. She said only why she's marrying these men is because they have money. She said if they were rich or if they were poor, she would take all their money and run and leave. She wouldn't tell them where she's at, where she's located. She'll change her cell phone number on them. She's lied to me. She's lied to the mental hospital, Mary Blunt Hospital in Maryville I went to when she called crisis on me. She said I was hearing voices and she said I tried to cut my wrist. They believed her at first. They believed her because my grandmother was with us at the time. And
As you can see,
there's no cuts on my wrist. I don't do that crap. There ain't no scars. She said I was hearing voices. That was never true. So I was in the mental hospital for 5.5 years because Mom said she couldn't have a risk person like me. She said I was a high risk with my stepdad, and I would never hurt nobody. And I want to make this clear. I would never hurt nobody. If you force me to, I will. But if you don't force me, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to love whoever my unicorn Bessie's going to be. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not going to put up with all these lies that my family's put me through. I'm done. My side of the family, I'm done.
About that time that you got thrown off the board.
Oh, by the way, okay. My grandfather wanted to go take me to my mom's for to go visit my mama because I was living with them at the time too. And down Miss Cruz threw me off the porch at my mama's. We had like a stair porch, and he picked me up, threw me on the off the porch, and we had this bolt, like a wall board, like wood. And Jackie Mountain come out, and I remember this because I remember who it was. Jackie Mountain, poor thing, had to get the screw out of my neck. He said I would have went paralyzed if he didn't hurry up and get it out. And I looked up at Jackie, and he said, the only thing I was like, he said I was in a daze, like I couldn't even look up at him hardly. He got in the ambulance with me, and he stayed in the hospital with me. Delmas got mad because I was talking to my ex-friends that I graduated with, and my ex-boyfriend that my mom said was okay for me to talk to at the time because, me and him was getting along at the time. And I was just trying to keep in touch with them because, they've been worried about me. They were saying they were worried about me, and they were scared something bad happened to me. And I was letting them know it's okay, and I made it safe up here. They want to make sure I made it safe. And yes, I made a wrong mistake of that now. And I learned my consequences. I'm trying to move on from that. And Delmas didn't want to tell my mom that he raped me. My grandfather, I went to my mama first. And I cried to my mama. I said, Mom, Delmas Cruz raped me. And I cried to my mama. I grabbed her hand and I sat her down easy because my mom is fragile, and I'm trying to be careful, not trying to hurt my mama at all. And I told my mama, and I was in tears. I pulled my sister down because, my sister was young at the time. And I told them both, I said, I was raped by him. He said, don't tell your mama that I raped you, because he said he didn't want to get in trouble by my mama. And yes, I've been raped 4 times. And when he told me not to do that, and he did it, and I went to my mom and my sister, and I went to my grandfather afterwards. I called my grandfather. I called my dad. My dad was pissed off when I called him and told him that. My dad wanted to come up here and kill him because my dad said, I don't deserve to be raped. He said, no woman deserves to be raped. And it hurt to be raped. It hurt. And like Steve Buckle said, no girl deserves to be raped at all. And I live with Thomas because I wanted to get to know him as my stepdad. I thought it was going to be cool and calm and get along with him. Be okay where I can go talk to him if something was wrong. I felt like I had a real stepdad that'll listen to me and be cool with, because I was happy for my mama. When she married him, I was happy for her because, that's the only mama that I got that I love dearly. But now that she's pulled this stunt, I can't have nothing to do. I'm done. Because I got to do what's best for me and my husband. I love my husband from the bottom of my heart. That's my everything. My husband is my everything. My baby dolls are my best thing that comes in my life right now. I said, if a unicorn Bessie comes, I'm going to appreciate everything that she's done for me. That she came in my life, made me happy. I want to be happy. I want my husband to be happy. I don't want to be in this hellhole anymore. I don't want... Why I collect reborn dolls is because I have anxiety, depression, and bipolar disorder. I got that from my dad's side of the blood. My dad's side of the family. Yes, I traveled several times, but see, my dad was on meth and weed and cocaine, and he's been in jail, he's been in prison. He said he didn't want this for his girls to go down the path that him and my mom went down. And I'm glad that my dad raised me to be that way. Yes, I drank a little bit, but I did this on my own to stop myself from being an alcoholic. I did the right thing. I moved from home from that. I worked. I worked at a warehouse. I loved that warehouse job. That was my best thing to wake up in the morning and go to work. That was the best thing for me to do because my dad wanted me to work somewhere where, like for people with disabilities can learn. Like if you go out in the real world, what kind of work is out there for people with disabilities like me. And he pushed me and pushed me and pushed me to graduate. Yes, I failed, but my dad said he still supported me through that. He said, I don't care if my daughter didn't go to college. He said, I didn't care for that. He said, as long as my daughter is happy, whatever she wants to do out in the real world, he supported me. My mom never supported me. My dad was the only one that supported me. And now that I came into Derek's life, he supports me all the way, 100%. And I support him whatever he wants to do. Like he was saying last night, the singing thing and wanting to go to the radio station. I support him 100%. I don't want to take his career away from him. I don't want to do that. But, well, I'm just saying, if he got a chance to do that, I will travel with him wherever he went because I'm happy for him. I want to support him. I love him. That's why I married him. It wasn't because he was rich or he didn't have a car or much money. I fell in love with the person that I saw in him. I fell in love with him the way he smiled and talked to me and made me feel like I was somebody. He didn't treat me like a dog like my exes treated me. Lying on me. See, my exes lied on me, saying I was cheating on them and I was a dog and I was a slut and they said I was whoring around. I was never doing that. I went to work and came home, took a shower, ate, and went to bed. And watched a little bit of TV and took care of my English bulldog that my dad had, Bruiser, my baby, my puppy, Rosie and her puppies. I had to, take care of my sister, Miranda. She was just a baby at the time. I raised her from a baby, and I will always love my sisters because, Miranda, was the first baby I got to hold when she was first born. I went to every doctor appointment just to hear Miranda in my stepmom's stomach. That was the best thing that she could ever ask in the family. She asked me first. She came to me first. And that made me feel so good that I got to hear my sister's heartbeat and seeing her move. And when she put her hand up on that ultrasound, she said, "Hi, sissy." And that made me feel like I was somebody. See, Miranda. She was so beautiful and a sweet baby. I mean, she was my everything, too. She always will be. I covered with her. I drove with her. I did things with her. I helped her with her homework. Now she's pregnant and I'm happy for her. And she's getting married. She's told me on Facebook before she got married. She's getting ready to get married to a wonderful guy. She's wanting me to meet him up front. But I'm not ready for that right now. But I am happy for my sister. And I'm happy that my dad's doing better. She said that my dad's finally getting out of jail and doing better. He's got cancer. She's trying to take care of my dad right now. And I got another sister I just found out by another woman, and she's beautiful. But I probably will never get to meet her. Yeah. But I'm glad that my dad's taking care of his girls and the new daughter. No. But, I'm letting my dad know I'm doing better. I love you, Dad. I'm glad that you're doing better. And see, that's why I collect reborn dolls and dolls because my doctor said it's good for me to carry them around, like, because they know that I have a disorder that I can't handle. And they said it's good for me. Derek's family didn't understand that. I want to make that clear because I know how his granny is. And so she knows what the real situation is. Because my husband's trying to explain it.
Gonna come out there on YouTube.
Well, I mean, if we're general now. Yeah. So they know Derek's tried to explain it to you, Granny. But
I know that.
But I've been through a lot. I need to get this off my chest because I can't hold it in anymore.
Like I said, me and my wife's had our own problems, but a lot of it, whether it was verbal or a little bit at times on her behalf and sometimes on my behalf, whoever started it first, whatever went down, but a lot of it's just stress because she's so, she gets so miserable and there's nothing for her to do here. And things, like I said, it happened at times when she's just so bored. That's the only thing here. So sometimes, it's like I said, she's like a miniature John Cena or one of them wrestlers on TV. And sometimes you can't get her, calm down,
Yeah.
And so sometimes we had those deals where me and her even, did stuff, that we forgive each other for and we moved on, But like I said, this latest thing, this unicorn thing, once she got rid of those rings and stuff, she just didn't want to keep having them hanging around. And like I said, got us a little bit of money, a little bit of groceries. But now our family just, they, cops checked her up and down and inside out and everything else. Did all that. Yeah. And see there, black on her eye. And
let me explain it. Why I have black underneath my eye is because my doctor said I have low iron. She's trying to get my iron up. That's why she's getting ready to put me on fish oil to get my iron back up. Yes, it's going to be expensive, but it's only going to be $8 and something. But she said when I take the fish oil, they'll take that black out from underneath my eye. That means that she said when that disappears, that's because my iron's back up. That's why I have black underneath my eye. I have low iron because they tested it and they said it was just for me having low iron. They're trying to get my iron back up for me. They're worried about my blood work right now. I've been through doctors. I've been sick. I've been dehydrated. I should have drunk something. Well, I drank something, but the heat, was taking all the energy out of me. And the ambulance, bless their little hearts, they stood with me, and I cried at the ambulance lady. And I told the guy, I said, I don't want you guys to leave me. And he hugged me tight. He said, I'm not leaving you, baby. I'm not leaving you. And I cried, and they both wrapped their arms around me and hugged me so tight. They said, we're not going nowhere. They said the cop Christopher lied, and he's fired for not doing his job the right way. Jackie gave him one more strike, and he's finally fired for not doing his job. But I just want to say thank you to the ambulance for making me feel better. I really appreciate it. You guys were wonderful. Thank you. Because I wouldn't know what to do without my husband. And thank you for not have to take me to the hospital. I have heart trouble. I have a hole in my heart. And I read about that a little bit. My doctor's just keeping an eye on it, though. They said that they don't think I'll have to have heart surgery or anything. They said that people are born with a hole in their heart. I just got to take it easy once in a while. But I'm sorry for last night that my brother got you guys all rounded up, my scrubbers. I apologize. I really do. I feel bad. I feel like crying because I don't want to lose all my scrubbers.
Oh, man.
Well, I love you females. Thank you, all my scrubbers.
Where are you gonna get here? Get up. You're gonna get here. I'll take over for a minute. But no, like I said, she came out. She just meant her want to do this. Like I said, nobody's perfect. But we just want to come out and address this, in full. That, yeah, me and my wife had their own problems just like everybody else does. Sometimes you do things you ain't so proud of, but you forgive each other and you move on and you find a way to get over that hump. And you, like I said, it's we have been through a lot. We've not been fully understood. Nobody really, like I said, my wife ran into that one we brought up here, from last year again last night out there still, you know, and her kids. I reckon she told me this last night. She said those kids asked if they could come if I want anything else to do with them. You know, I said no. My wife told them no. And said, oh, it can't be. I said, well, she can't do it like I do, but like every time I heard Daddy, well, every time that 3-year-old want to go see Daddy, you know, I'm at this hurt my stomach to know that I was not, I was trying to do somebody a favor and these kids a favor, and all this woman knows is just be out there with her, and I don't how she still has her kids. I don't know. I God only. I don't know how anybody could have their kids, and this woman that has no job, no money. You talk about me not having much. At least I got enough to pay my bills, and my wife and I've got enough to pay her bills and have a place at least to stay. Is it the best? No. But does it have to do for now? Yeah, it has to. We had no choice. But that's why we wanted something that was less stressful. Something that when we did have a little talk or a little misunderstanding, if I could talk about it and not have to worry about, being, you know, uh, in drama and, somebody that was understanding. That's what the whole, bringing that other, if there was another person, if there would be one, not saying there would be. You're all right. Go ahead and take as much time as you need. Lord have mercy. But my wife will answer y'all down there. But you know, yeah, a lot of it was just her having so much of this built up in her that she kind of took it out on me, and we took it out on each other. She didn't have nobody else to do it with, and then I understood that. She's a special type person, and I used to before I was on certain medicine. There was one medicine I was on that kind of made me a little bit. I remember Dr. Chin. It's called phenobarbital or something. I used to, would they thought that was causing some, behavioral things. You know how some medicines make you go a little bit off the rails, and sometimes I always have a having to doing the head thing, back then. So I, and so I'd get whoopings for it, and things like that, But we figured out it was probably the medicine that was I was on at that time. It was liquid medicine, it wasn't pills. But there's a lot of stuff like, my wife had been through that. After all this, she's come out here and told y'all all the stuff she's been through. You can see why me and her would would always try to find a way to make it right. And like I said, I just think somebody with you know less less stress, and it could be the right fit. It's like a puzzle, but somebody that could fit what what would be, not only an uplift for us, but that we could share, those same feelings and thoughts, and give that special person, whoever she might be out there, that maybe the attention she probably don't get, or doesn't maybe somebody out there that knows somebody that doesn't necessarily get anything from family or friends. And like I said, I've said it before. You always have a couple of people come out and do this sort of thing and try to get y'all tore up, or someone else, to well, what's going on. There's always going to be a couple of people, even when we're on here having a having a nice chat or talking about our history or whatever questions y'all may ask, or whoever may come out. So I wasn't sure what time we were going to do, but I still got up pretty early. I probably only slept about 4 or 5 hours because I watched almost that whole video last night. Uh, when I got off before I made the karaoke video, and I hope y'all like that one. But we just felt led to come out here and kind of bear it all. You know, uh, it's a lot to put out, but I feel that's the only way to kind of get get the stuff out. And you know yeah, I used to, and I'd play some of those, those, you'd have your off days, and stuff. And I had to learn, your ball games ain't gonna go. Every time you play one of those baseball games, you want to, every day you wanna do good on those things, and sometimes they just upset you just for the fact you could. It seemed like you just couldn't. And for the longest time, yeah, I'd cuss the TV, I'd pull Papa out, and when I was playing video games, well, it's just a video game. Well, yeah, but when you're that caught up in it, and you really want to do good. Like I said, I had to learn, over time that usually when you're calmer about it, and you just, hey, you have a bad day once in a while in the game, hey, or like I don't like board games. I don't really take them that serious, but like when I was a big video gamer at the time, I don't do it that much anymore. But like sometimes the pitchers, on purpose they would throw stuff. They never give you hardly nothing. And a lot of times it's kind of hard. I used to like the old games where the old guys that you knew how they threw, and or how they would usually throw something. I always did great on those. I remember one time on one of the baseball games. I can't remember which one it was, but I had 99 home runs that whole year. I beat the Barry Bonds 73 single season record on there. And Darren had 72 or something like that in the low 70s. And me and him was running a race between each other to see who's going to get the most homers. We didn't start out thinking we was going to do that. And I couldn't get a homer on that darn video game. The whole week of games we had left, all I needed was one homer to get triple digits. I couldn't do it. I couldn't get that 100. I said, man, all I want to do is get that 100, if nothing else. And I couldn't do it. And it just wasn't meant to be. But 99, I guess, was a good number. But what happened then, I had a memory card thing, and I forgot to save it and lost it all. But I never forgotten it.
Almost did.
Oh. But it'd just be nice, if there's somebody that wouldn't be, too high maintenance, just somebody easy going, and somebody that can make you laugh and cut up, and smile a little bit, maybe, just, be the way they've always been, but, understand, that, like I said before, everybody's not going to be on my side and my wife's side through all this stuff, but people that can relate to it, and they've probably had, a few times they've, done something or got into some stuff that we've talked about in this video. You know, you can understand why I don't want to lose that person if you're that strong and you just know it's because of the stuff that you can't help. My wife wanted this stuff to go so good. I don't know. Like I said, that we spoke of earlier, but it just wasn't meant to be. And she went back to all her past stuff, and none of it panned out. And none of it was. There wasn't nothing in it. I mean, it was just. So that's why, like I said, we wanted to address a lot of that, and come out and all that stuff. But if y'all got any other questions or want to talk, yesterday I told my wife yesterday I was on here, and I was on here about an hour or so, and then everybody just started coming all at one time. As a matter of fact, to update the video from yesterday, it's already got 160 something views on it, and it's I don't know, we've got 39 subscribers, and really it's only started about 2 days ago, where I had some requests to do Aussie. There's some want me to do some of this other stuff. Whatever my voice is doing right now, I mean, I do some. Like I said, it'll be a while before I get up to doing all that other stuff. So I've had a lot of a lot of people have had to chew out. It takes a wear and tear on your voice there. But I did pretty good on the share last night. I went back and listened to that part when I was doing share. Man, that sounded just about like her then. But I was trying to wing it, trying to listen to it on TV.
Go try cocktail.
Okay. But we wanted to come out and put all this out here so I can put all of it to bed, and just tell you that we've been doing good. That like I said, when she got rid of those rings and gave them to the pawn shop, she don't even really think about it that bad now. And I think since 2 or 3 days ago now, she sees that we've got a little bit of that. Something we didn't ask for was all these people to like what we were doing the other day, and I didn't mean for the video to go that long. Lord have mercy, 6 hours, 1 minute, and like 4 seconds. I think it's the whole time of the video. And like I said, I still got an hour to watch. I watched about almost 5 hours of it. So like that tells you, I mean, when you come out here and you have, what was it? What game is Dad talking about? A baseball game. I forget what it was called, triple play or one of those. I can't remember. I used to play MLB The Show. I used to play their games. But I used to play, like I said before, Mario Duck Hunt, Mario Party, uh, Street Fighter, what you want to call it, Killer Instinct, wrestling games, of course. I did some football. I don't like football now. Every once in a while I might watch the Super Bowl. My wife might tolerate it for the Super Bowl. Like I said, the championship I didn't watch this year. I never make it a habit to watch every year, but every once in a while, I'll get in the mood to watch something rare like that. Maybe every now and again, rarely put a NASCAR race on. Last time I put one on after Dale Earnhardt died was I just wanted to see something on TV. Sports stuff was took off TV while all that COVID mess was going on and all that junk. So anyway, I turned on some stuff, that I normally wouldn't have turned on, or just, seeing what was going on, seeing what they were doing at the time with it. But, I'm not a big sports fanatic. My wife's not really that much either. Although she, has her favorite stuff. She watches the Atlanta Braves. Uh, and I always passionate about rubbing that championship in MLB Network's face, because they hate that. Other than John Smoltz, he used to work for MLB Network.
I love you, Braves.
Oh,
I love y'all.
But yeah, we really just wanted to, we just meant, we just do these videos for entertainment. We didn't do them to, and there's, like I said, everything that's on the videos are true. There's no lies here. There's nothing, not out here that ain't already. I mean, my God, I've made over 600 some videos or something like that, or almost 700 of them. And I sometimes I've went through there and tried to delete some of them, but it's like, man, there's so many, you just don't feel like trying to go through there and picking out the ones you like versus the ones you don't. But I can say the most recent videos is probably our favorites, for the longest time. I remember the first video me and my wife made, our introduction video, which was over a year ago, or coming up on a year. Yeah, it still likes about 2 months or so, being a full year, but it had over 60 something views. I haven't checked it in a while. It may have went up a couple of views, but no, we don't expect 1 million people. We don't expect, people to like everything that we talk about or agree with everything just because, I had a lot of people yesterday that was on here, asking me questions. So I was answering it for them. I wasn't answering it for, to get, people to be mad at me. Like some of you will come out and test me on politics and religion and all that. And I try to walk a thin, narrow line with that because, I try to be mindful of other people. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I try to be mindful of others, because I don't, as far as my politics stance on stuff like that, I just go with the flow. I like I said, I'm only voted one time in my whole time being able to vote. So, and I just never was a big supporter of the whole politic thing. Or, I never got myself all. I'd go back and watch the old stuff, just, once in a while. I went back and watched some of the elections just to see who won what state and how they won it. It's kind of hard to understand whether our vote really counts or not, kind of thing, and whether it's all one of these big. It's a lot to have to dig into, but it's like I said, the colleges are what really votes, and they already had their stuff turned in. But I can tell you that if it wasn't for waiting for us, we'd already know the president before, whoever that would be. We'd already have it done, And I've always heard unless there was a tie in the electoral college, votes, that's the only time our vote really counts. But they could have modified something over the years. They could have said, a whole bunch of different things and made, done stuff I'm not aware of. I know that there's stuff when you go to the vote booth, I know there's stuff you can vote on. Hey, do you want pot legalized? Do you want, what's next? Cocaine, or what's the next thing they're going to try to come up with to legalize that the police can't get you for? What the hell? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, because it's coming. Something else that ain't, like I said, back before gay marriage or any of that stuff was popularized. I guess it was when Obama came in there. I think it was around the time it started was when he was in there. I was telling my wife about the wrestling family, the Hart family, and if they married their siblings, they didn't marry other people, like most people would marry another person's, uh, you know, folks in their opposite family. Well, these people married their own sisters and their own, and they all become wrestlers. So before it was ever legalized in the United States legally, they got away with it. I don't know how. I guess they just didn't think about it back then. And like I said, it's a different time. But you know, they were all one big family. They was a big wrestling family. So like I said, you know, and now everybody's like, well, now, and again, they didn't. Again, it wasn't like they married the. It wasn't like men and men or women and women necessarily. But I'm just saying, as far as marrying your own family, I didn't know that they could make a deal, or I don't know. I don't even think it was legal then. But like I said, it definitely now everything is just got where you know. And I had a few rude people, like I said, I'd come out here and apologize on that. But I had a few, even one that asked me about the stripper stuff and what I would think if blah 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 and all that. So I go out of my way to answer some of that stuff, and then she don't like it. Well, if you don't like anything, don't ask me. Don't ask us if you don't want to know our true opinions, because, like I said, I'll say this again with a person watching. I may have not have jumped through a lot of hurdles, but I know right from wrong, and I know that right has its own consequences, just like wrong does. But wrong is a lot worse. Right, you'll get a small consequence, but you'll gain something a little bit better in the end. But yes, there's a lot of stuff I've never done. But I'll tell you, I know what I'm talking about. I use my head. I use stuff I've seen and watched on TV to help better educate myself. No, I don't have to watch something 24 hours a day or get, all caught up in that sort of thing. All I need is just enough to fill my head up. I had somebody come out here yesterday and say, "Man, you sure have a good memory." Yeah, I said, of stuff that's happened to me in my past, I have a pretty good memory of school memories and different things like that. Like I said, me and my wife have definitely, uh, you know, don't are not the smartest knives in the drawer, but when somebody came out, for example, somebody was telling me to, you know, give some advice on some stuff about, how would you recommend, and I'm not an expert, but I, don't claim to be an expert in nothing. But like I said, my best advice for anybody wanting to date somebody, I wouldn't do it off the internet, and I had a question like that, so I responded to that. Some young, one of the ladies or somebody had asked and said they knew somebody named Josh. So I came out and, but if you don't want to know anything and you're a subscriber, or if you're new and you just happen to see us on here, probably the new ones, probably the ones I need to address. If you're new, then don't ask anything if you don't want to know our opinion on it, because you may like it, you may not, but don't hate us and don't beat us to death over it. But if you don't want to know something, don't ask us anything. You know what I'm saying? But hang on just a minute. I'm gonna read this. Hang on just a minute. Did you? I'm not a big breakfast eater. Yeah, I'll eat my cereal occasionally when I get to. Uh, you know, uh, like I told my wife, when she first met me, she knew I like cereal real quick, and milk. Had to have milk with my cereal, but generally we eat whatever's in the house. You know, um, if that's sandwiches, that's sandwiches. I mean, it's like my dad said. He wasn't a big cook, but he would grill if he had to occasionally. But if he felt like it and had the extra money on him, but he used to always get SpaghettiOs and can and raviolis, and he'd buy some like potato chips and stuff, and I didn't care, and I still don't. But I mean, when I moved into an apartment, he's like, well, you're gonna have to get stuff probably like that or whatever. Because even myself, I'm not a big cook, but I could cook spaghetti at my own pace, if I'm not rushed, and I don't put any special spices or extra spicy stuff on it. I just cook the meat, put whatever the I'll get a flavor of sauce or whatever that pasta sauce that I like, and I'll get it, and then I'll cook the noodles or whatever, and do it that way. And usually I'll do it by the microwave because I don't trust myself around other other stoves and stuff. I just don't like fooling with it. But no, we just been up a little while, and I'm usually a late eater. I don't, just whenever my wife feels like she's ready to eat, I'll usually eat with her. She won't eat without me. But we just, it's, like I said, we don't have a ton of anything, but we make do with it. And we're lucky. We're getting about 200 and something dollars so far a month right now with food stamps. That's the most we've ever gotten, besides the pandemic thing when they added a couple $100 because of that stuff. But then when they started going back down to the regular whatever they were going to give you amount, I said, well, 200 and something dollars is more than we got when we first started that stuff. So and like I said, nobody understand. Hang on, I'm gonna try to read some of the stuff.
I'll be there in a minute.
Oh yeah, like I said, uh, I like muffin. Blueberry muffins. I can eat them, or like raspberry muffins. I guess I've had blueberry definitely, and I think I've had some raspberry ones. And as far as waffles or pancakes, you know, um, pancakes. I don't know. I'm not crazy about it, but I can eat it occasionally. I used to be a big bacon eater. I used to eat a whole pound of bacon. I could whiff it down, just like that. And but cereal, I could eat just about any kind of cereal. I'm trying to think if there's anything like I like scrambled eggs. If it's fixed scrambled, I like that. I'll put just a dab, a little bit of salt on it, to give it a little bit of flavor or something. But or put a little cheese in it. A lot of times I like cheese in my stuff. I have a habit of having cheese in most of my stuff I fix. But as far as drinks, me and her drink just about anything. Uh, you know, I don't drink as much soda stuff, but I will occasionally drink. Um, Cokes or whatever. Mellow Yellow, Mountain Dew. Um, but again, uh, let's see. Is there anything else? Sometimes I eat cheese. Well, let's see. Yeah, like I said, uh, I like, you know, I don't know what it is. It's just I got a habit of having, like I say, cheese. Pretty much on just about anything I just about eat. But yeah, I'm right now. We're just glad to see everybody come out and that came out. Didn't know we was going to get all this started. The day she went out and did all that, it surprised me. And even she's doing some clothes. Oh, here she comes.
She's trying some laundry.
There you go.
Laundry.
Go ahead. She's talking about breakfast.
Oh. I was reading it first. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sweetheart.
But yeah, if you watch this video from the beginning, don't be alarmed. It's just stuff me and my wife put ourselves through, and family was the cause of most of our problems.
Inside I cried.
So if you don't be alarmed, but I'll make sure I put some stuff down in the comments so I let everybody know. But because we want to just come out, kind of open up a little bit on that since stuff kind of happened yesterday. But if you got any questions or anything while we're on here, we'll be more than happy to answer them. My wife's going to answer a few things. Let's see what we have here.
Jenny asked why anybody won't help me with dolls. She said, because you're too sweet. Too sweet.
Well, there's people who'll give you there's people like I said yesterday. There's people who give you dolls. And I had a few of them that sent my wife some dolls and stuff off of Facebook. Like I said, if you wanted food, if you wanted clothes, if you wanted a pet, right? It's easier to get somebody to do something like that for you and hand that to you for free. But it ain't easy dealing with a person, trying to get a person to fit what you're looking for and actually have that be something that you like our unicorn bestie thing. That's what I'm saying. It's just something that has to be something that somebody would like. And it's hard, and that's what I'm saying. It's not easy to do. I'm not asking or begging anybody to, oh yeah, there, just don't make us happy because you think you have to. But if you generous enough and think you want to do that, that's your call. That it's not up to me or my wife. But I'm not out here, I'm just saying if there was just somebody just happened to be saying, hey, I'm capable, I live nearby, or just happen to have, the extra cash, don't mind to take a trip. And if you had our address and our phone numbers or whatever, and you want to call or text and come up and visit or whatever, we'd be more than happy to meet you and getting to know you and all that stuff. A lot of people's got jobs and work or something or school or whatever, and it's just, it's hard to explain to somebody when we're, like us, we don't work or nothing, but, we really don't have to, if you really think about it. Uh-oh, what we got there?
Says, can you wish my boyfriend a happy birthday today? His name is Jaden, and he is a really big fan. We're eating breakfast with you guys. Happy birthday, sweetheart Jaden.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy.
We had somebody else yesterday wanting a happy birthday for Nick. Somebody named Nick. So, again, I guess we're just getting popular. Somebody out here yesterday said, well, you're going to be the next most popular thing on YouTube. And I said, oh, I ain't trying to get there. But, I guess some people like us. So, like I said, we didn't intend on it. But, we're thankful that there's a few good ones out here left. Like I said, if nothing else, you get conversation out here and they can hear us. And we can see what they're typing. But,
happy birthday, Jaden.
Yeah, happy birthday. This kind of reminds me of that, those birthday things that come up on the news. There's people call in. I used to have my grandmother would call in when I'd have a birthday of Jed Mescon and on Channel 3. Yeah. You could send in your birthday thing. You had to send it in like a date, like like about 2 or 3 days prior to your birthday, so it'd get on your birthday.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'd come in a day early.
Yeah.
What is it?
No, I was answering to
Oh,
Emmy.
oh, but yeah. Sometimes like you see things on TV, and depending on when you send it in, it gets there a day early or a day late or on the day of your birthday. But they'll still say, "Hey, happy birthday, Derek. He's turning 13 or 14, whatever it was, when we sent those in."
I wrote
And
it
it'd
on
say,
the phone.
and you'd send them in a picture and your name and what you wanted to say,
Happy
about,
birthday, Jaden. I wrote it on there for you, buddy.
but anyway, it just reminded me of that. We used to do that. I actually won a contest, a local Fox 61 there in Chattanooga. Wow.
In town, I'm going to be going to a thrift store in a little while.
Oh, you're going to go to the thrift store? Everybody hear that?
Yeah.
Gonna go thrift store.
Yeah.
Yeah. She loves those thrift
Thank
stores.
you both so much. When are you guys' birthday?
June 6th for me, and my wife's September 10th.
I'll write it down.
She heard me. They can hear us, and they can see us. We just can't hear them. But we can see what they type.
Yeah. 6, right?
Yeah, she heard me.
Good.
I like talking more than I do typing. That's just
He
me.
gives me something to do.
Oh.
Because
These phones that me and my wife got, it's a pain in the ass trying to text.
yeah, it is.
I'd rather do the voice recorder thing. When I was doing that one day, she's down at the cops, the police station for something. I forget now what it was that happened. And I said, "Lord have mercy, we don't even need to go to his house or do anything." I'm gonna start doing that trick. He said, "Lord have mercy." These cops down there, I don't reckon
that woman that said that she had my number.
Oh yeah, it was one of them that we had somebody claiming that somebody else had one of these numbers that we have, and we've had a few of those. But she went down there, and they said, "Well, man, we don't need we don't need to do nothing." Like I said, there's a few positive things about technology today. I mean, a lot of it I ain't a big fan of it. I tell you, all that, going on the internet and having to order food, all that Grubhub and all those apps. I'm not a big fan. Or that, wish I could. I wish I could just take a time capsule and let everybody see that's in their 20s and 30s today, and just take a time capsule and let them see how good.
I was talking about that phase. I was watching when you took a nap. It's called dumpster diving. I was telling Emmy about it.
But I wish I could take a time capsule and let these people nowadays that's young. I'm not saying we're not young, but I'm just saying, these people that don't realize how good it used to be and how it used to be a lot different. And like I said, on all fronts. Nowadays, the things that seem like it'd be easier to get something and somebody, it's easier to find a lot more trouble than it is anything good. That's the way I've just come to know from my experiences. You can be on here having a good conversation with you people, and you always get one or two, tries to sometimes come on and ruin your mood, or one of them tries to say, "Oh, I know him," or "Yeah, right." And because a lot of the layman's I don't even know hardly. I know the ones I was around. That's it. A lot of times it's like people that's met them, that's went to reunions, or spotly been out and seen them. I used to have people come up to me, "Oh, I know so and so, and this and that. how's this one? How's that one? I said, I don't really know. I don't speak to them, anymore. So, yeah, we just thought we'd come out a little while and tell you about some stuff we had on our mind and what was going on and why. The ending of the video was a little bit, we didn't know that was coming, but I told my wife I figured as long as we was on, it's something that had to happen, something.
I'm so sorry.
But at least we can come out and maybe build on this. And everybody understand. If you see something, just let us know. If we don't see it and you see it first, let us know, and we'll snooze them or block them or whatever we have to do. There's so many options on there. But we're glad for the positive feedback and the likes and the ones that are viewing the videos that me and my wife do. And like I said, here in a little while, I think she's going to go. Said she's going to go to the thrift store. She likes to get out. Like I said, I don't,
See, this is really what I got.
Yeah. Well, like I said, $1's a dollar. $1 we didn't have.
It was underneath your foot.
That's the way you look at it. Every dollar I get, just money. Like I told before, my wife and I, it's like money's like water. Just it goes quick. I spent $2,800 in like 2 hours.
Get stuff for the house.
So it got stuff for the house, and hey, I was given 2 hours. Now I was worried about trying to spend it all. I bought this computer, bought 2 rings, I bought some other stuff, bought stuff for the house, food and all kinds of other stuff. I bought one of those coolers. I can't remember all that stuff I bought now. One of them wired up beds. I didn't like it. But we bought a lot of stuff for that last stimulus check when it came. And my wife. What is it?
I asked, according to you, females like going yard selling.
Oh.
Selling.
I didn't enjoy too much of that. I mean, as a kid, I just, I'd go, but it wasn't anything I was, because you never know what's there. And then, you'll see a bunch of clothes, a bunch of stuff that you don't fool with. Very rarely I found some things. Sometimes.
Amy said, I don't have a boyfriend or nothing, and I have way too many toys from my childhood.
Oh, I don't have that much of mine left. I don't know. I had to get rid of stuff. I had so much stuff. I had wrestling figures. I had a bunch of CDs, a bunch of movies. One time I lost over 300 movies because I let somebody borrow them, and they didn't end up bringing them back or couldn't bring them back or something. So I told my next door neighbor at that time, the woman I had living next door for my wife to come, don't worry about it, And so, it's just what it is. Just why you learn not to loan your stuff out. Don't loan your car out, especially if you got one. Don't loan anything important out. Be like me. If it was more like me, you'd be better off. Not trying to tell you what to do. If it's more like me, put your mind to being more careful. About stuff, and like I said, once I do something once, I don't repeat it. repeat the same thing over. Like we had that stuff last night, with that one that's still coming around here, walking around on the streets. It's still funny. I can't believe they actually thought they were still somehow going to. Yeah, we did a little bit of karaoke last night, and we called it late night karaoke. So if you want to, you can check that out. We did a little bit of wrestling talk there toward the end, and did some more talk about some music, some stuff. Got Ninja Turtles on today.
I wear it once in a while. I was talking about Saturday. Amy asked me when I was going back to that yard sale.
Oh,
She was interested.
yeah, like I said, there's a lot of people give you stuff. My wife came home with all that. I don't know what in the world, how she got all that. And they just, somebody, she's telling somebody about this stuff.
Yeah, it's David's girlfriend.
But
she said she's got some stuff that she's got some jewelry boxes for them and musical. It has roses in it and it's got glass over it and it plays music.
Yeah.
Music. She asked them if they would like that.
Well, they're gonna be happy with what they get. That's all I'm gonna say. Especially when somebody offers it to
Mama,
you.
you need to run away. He is abusive. What are you talking about? That bottom one. What the fuck?
Who in the world?
I don't know. He just popped up.
Who in?
I don't know. Lord. We're not on here for that.
There we go. Anyway, there we go. We got one that hadn't blocked. That's all right. Like I said, that stuff is our past. Felt like to come out and say a few things. Like I said, she and I, nobody, everybody's not perfect, and so having somebody that was.
That's that same one that was talking to Zach.
Looking in. Well, I'm looking. Like I said, me and my wife, large portion of the problem that we suffered from is the lack of her being able to get out and me being able to get out, and she just sometimes like I said, we took it out sometimes, know each other a little bit, and said a few things, like I said, a lot of people do things like that. It's just not broadcast on live TV and put out there because you don't have time to tell everybody's story on live news TV. But anyway, we just wanted to come out and address a couple of things about some of the stuff my wife been through before she met me and things that we've been through when we've been together. Like I said, 80-90% of it, is due to the family stuff.
I wish I could have my fishes back.
Oh.
I miss Mimo. Miss Crash.
Yeah, you miss those fishes?
That vessel.
Oh, you need to get up.
I miss my fishes.
Oh, yeah. We bought some, or not, I didn't buy them. I won some fishes for me and my wife, and she won one over at the fair. She named one of them Mimo, and we named one of them was Crush. That's what she wanted to name him. So, we had them for about 2 weeks. They didn't stay alive long. But no, I'm just, nobody's perfect. But like I said, my wife and I just had a lot going on, and through a lot with uh, family, and even before they even hardly met me, they just gonna give me the awkward eye, no matter what I was, no matter if I was a rich man, a poor man, or anything. They just look for anything. People do that. Now I'm sure these couples and stuff, you know, relate to a lot of the stuff. You just have to, you either have to stick together because we knew we were meant to be. That's the thing. It was just she wasn't getting a lot of the stuff she thought she was going to get. Like I knew she wasn't going to get a whole lot from my side of the family because I knew what was in it. I knew how they treated me. But my wife had hoped, I guess, even though she came out and did a lot of that stuff and talked about her family and how they did her and her past and stuff and what they done to her. This is one of them videos that's not gonna be popular probably with a lot of people if they watch it from the beginning. But I felt like coming out and clearing the air, and my wife too, and we wanted to assure everybody that ever since that we let this family stuff go, it's less stressful. It feels better. We've been about almost 3 years over it now. Uh, I mean, she don't she don't really cry for them, miss them or anything. She knows what's there. And like I told her that the other day when my grandmother, was downtown, and she was telling my grandmother about, the or my grandmother was telling her, oh, I want to go down there and I like for him to talk to me or do something. See, when I pushed that button where I said I wasn't going to do anything, I knew over time that it would probably make them try to get to my wife, to try to get to me. But I just I don't want to fool with any of my people. I've dealt with them my whole life. I know what they're about. They tried to con me into saying stuff and doing stuff for them and always, trying to get me, you know. But no, we just felt like coming out here, like I said, her stuff just as bad as mine was. Just maybe not as in some way, not as in stuff that she went through. But I'm saying in some ways it's like I said, there's some relatable stuff there. And her family did a lot to her for her to come out and still want somebody like, to be her husband and or want anything to do with guys after the way her family's done and all this stuff that's come out and come to light. The whole time I've been with her, a lot of this stuff, was misunderstood by my family. And they said things and did things that were, not exactly the way I would have done them or said them and took them. Everybody makes whatever they want to make it. But, it's what it is. But no, if there's anybody got any questions or anything, it's more than welcome. You know, we're out here to be straight up, not here to be, nobody or pretend to be somebody we're not. But that's what we come out for, just to come out and see what chat with our subscribers and stuff. But like I said, uh, yeah, it just boils down to a lot of the stress that accumulated a lot of the stuff that happened here at the house and different things. And she didn't have anybody else to take it out on. So we like I said, we worked through all that stuff. But a lot of it was just stuff that we weren't, she was wanting to happen and didn't happen. So and as far as my family goes, I warned her about all that before she you know really got to even speak to them. We did, and like I said, she went over to some of my people's stuff, and the gatherings they threw today wasn't the gatherings they would have thrown 15, 20 years ago. So it was a lot different from what I was raised up and around. And I used to have all that stuff, Christmas trees, all that stuff. Yeah, like I said, it's just wanted to come out and do a few things and talk about a couple things. See if anybody out here had any questions, whatever. But uh, we did a few little karaoke things, and like I said earlier, uh, late this morning, we felt like coming back out and doing some stuff. So anyway, we just wanted to kind of clear the air on something. I don't think you got any music on. Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Open spaces. Do you make a big mistake? Ooh, misses. She knows the high space. Never know as a child. Really, she never found out. Now she's walking came back with my friend. Let me that she need. Wide open spaces. Do you make a big mistake? Ooh, places. She knows the high space. She knows the high space. Long time waiting and there's Chucky boy. On that window says I'm leaving my room. She said it took me like long ago. It's so weird. Like all last love she had. Wide open spaces. Do you make a mistake? Yeah. Places. She knows the high space. Knows the high space. The high places. She lies space. Ooh. The high space.
now what was that one thing?
Hi, I wish you all the best. Be happy and prosper. Shows who is the man in the house. You have a beautiful voice. Thank you, sweetheart.
Like I said, we're gonna try to live it up a little bit. Maybe put some music on. But that'll be fine. See if there's something.
I can see it. Faces glowing.
No, there's that. There's that same song. Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, I don't see nothing right now. What's on down? Let's see. Yeah, ain't much on there. Dang. Well, yeah, like I say, when you're wanting something, they don't. Ain't any on here I want to say. Yeah. Oh, there's her. Oh,
No,
that's Dorothy.
that's my baby. This is
Go ahead. Go
Dorothy,
ahead.
and I dressed her last night. These are little mittens I bought at the Makes Ministry, and this is a new sleeper. I bought her cute little outfits for $1. Sometimes they're like 2 or 5, usually or 50 cents. But she always brings me joy to my heart because that's something I got, or my husband. But I love her to death.
You want to show them Catherine? Have we
Yeah.
ever put her on here with all the
I
new
don't
ones?
think so. We probably do it all the time. Come here, baby. Come here, baby.
This is our biggest one. She's a hard one to get on.
Come here, you just sit up or stand up. There you go. Here you go. Turn your face, baby. This is my play pal, Catherine, the one I was telling you about last night. She was asleep when I was talking about her. There you go.
Nah, that's the biggest one. Her hair, I accidentally tried. We was trying. I think we was gonna try to dye the color, and it run the. It took the hair piece off, so we just had to put it on. Was, I might find me some wood glue or something. Get some of that special glue that you can glue it on. Some of that good stuff, though. Can't be that cheap stuff. Ain't no music, I don't think.
I'll show them the rest of my toes.
Oh, she's gonna show you some more.
Make it interesting today.
Yeah.
That's a musical one.
Yeah, this one that plays some music.
It plays a gospel music. And then I got that one.
Yeah, she's got that.
Got that
She's got a
one.
lot more in there. She's got them packed up in boxes.
Yeah.
In case.
And this is my recent one. That's Tiara.
Oh yeah, that's pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, I got her for $5. $5.
Oh, she got these dressed up today. There you go. I don't think we've got names for them yet.
No, not yet. I just got them.
Yep.
I need two. And this one plays music too.
Oh, is it?
My headphones.
Oh, that's it.
Her headphones.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, her headphones. Isn't she pretty?
Yeah,
I got this one.
there's this one. Most of these they don't have names. These are new ones.
Yeah, these are new ones. Where's that one?
Dressed them all up. See.
And this one is Opry. Oh, that's okay. This one's Opry.
Yeah.
I just got her recently.
It's there. Oh,
That's Opry.
that's the way it's made, I guess.
That's Opry.
Yeah, well.
That's Opry.
Okay.
That's
Just in case there's some new ones, that's what she wanted to put something out here.
This little one is Dorothy's little baby. That's Dorothy's little baby.
Ain't much to that, is it?
That one's Dorothy's baby. I'm gonna get that back. That's a baby. She always lets me put it on my.
There's something else you want to show?
Yeah, hold on.
You got that?
I was gonna show you the baby ones. I got him.
Oh,
Got you.
you're gonna show off some of the
And I got these from my husband for his birthday.
Here's
For
some
his
bunnies.
birthday.
See?
I got him a teddy bear.
Got a teddy bear.
Got a bear.
Got another one.
And I got that
Got
one.
another bunny. Let's move that fan out of your way.
Over here. I'm gonna eat your babies off. I'm right back. I got him some muck-mucks because he likes muck-mucks.
Yeah.
And
everybody-
got him muck-mucks.
Everybody know. There we go.
That's where I get my dessert store.
Now we got a big one named Jake. He's over there.
He's a big one too. What was you gonna be in the video? You ain't been in the video in a while. You
What
wanna get the video, baby?
about Sparkle?
He's Sparkles and Cassie.
Oh,
Oh, and we can't forget Bo Peep. She gets upset if she gets the video. This is Bo Peep, Catherine's little baby. Little baby. This is Bubbles.
yeah. This is one I want to fur. It's been with me ever since
This is
2008.
Cassie.
Yeah.
She talks too.
Yeah.
She was expensive. She was very
See.
And this is Sparkle.
This is Sparkle.
I got that at VBS
Say.
for winning a Bible verse.
Uh-oh. Look on
No, it's not something. You're getting over here with Mommy. Mommy will kick your butt up. Mommy will kick your butt up.
there. But yeah, we just thought we'd put a few of these things out here. Let's see. What about Jake?
Jake, you want to come on here, sweetheart? Come on, mommy, baby. Come on, mom. You know how much mommy loves you. You know how much mommy and daddy loves you. Yeah. He's my baby.
There's the
Uh-oh. His head's a little bit wobbly,
yeah,
sorry.
it's stuff.
That's Jake.
We got that. I got that as a Valentine's present over at Walmart in Athens, Tennessee. Went over there and had a trip. But yeah, I used to on our anniversaries, there for a while. We went out, grandmother, and I had nothing to do with it, but my grandmother would take us, like 1 year or two. We went to, I forgot. Oh,
That's my flowers. I named her flowers because she had no flowers. Well, that named her.
yeah, we got that at, I think that one was at the Dollar General
Yeah.
place. But, yeah, we used to, every now and then we'd get, we'd get, go out to like Golden Corral and different little restaurants, every once a year or something. I was lucky to even get that. We didn't we never really get a whole lot for one another. We're just, we don't like,
We don't go out big
we don't do big stuff. We really don't have anything to, really do with what our situation is. Just as long as we get up and acknowledge that, hey, this is another year you've been, been together, been married.
And I'm happy.
Overall, we're happy. Like I said, there was some tough stuff in there.
Tough road.
We went through ourselves. And
I love this man from the bottom of my heart.
It is what it is. And,
I don't want no other man but this one.
But
I love him to death. I wouldn't know what to do without him.
let's see. Set on.
Yeah.
Like I say, we just here. She's got a little bit of laundry and stuff going.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't a whole lot to do,
And a little bit of dishes.
Yeah, a little bit of dishes.
Like
I say, if there's somebody on wants to ask us a few questions,
ask away.
We'll be on here in just a little while. Give you a few minutes. So we've been trying to entertain you with some things. See if anybody has anything else.
Thank you to all my subscribers.
And like I say, we always want to thank our subscribers. And, like I said, if you like what you're getting and content-wise, like I said, some of this stuff's a little rough. I understand or take in. Sometimes we'll hit a question or a subject that might not be popular with everybody, but we just try to come out here and be open and honest. 'Cause you don't get this usually out of most people on YouTube. People, you don't usually get many that has even an actual picture on their thing either. It's a rarity.
I'm gonna go check the mail, sweetheart.
Okay, but we thank you. And like I said yesterday, I was playing trivia, but they were answering questions they were asking me. So as I said, so if there's anything that y'all think of that you might not have asked, and it might be something that somebody else has already asked, but if you're new and don't know us or something, probably point you to our video. I tried to go through it and kind of, at certain points, try to get you to the point where what we were talking about, what the subject was, because it was so long, But generally, I'll go through there and kind of let everybody know, give them a heads up, if anybody wants, anything to do with it. So we'll put our numbers or something down there in comments below or something in case somebody is, local or can, or somebody wants something. Uh, Call or text or maybe, even meet us or something, if there's somebody out there that don't have a whole lot. That's kind of the audience we were trying to target, if we were going to get anybody, just somebody that didn't have a whole lot and appreciated the small town, I'm small town. Well, it's like that Journey song. I'm a small town boy living in a lonely world. You know, I don't know all of it, but that's kind of what reminds me of me. So I wasn't a big, I wasn't out there, you know, gonna ever be, most popular prom king or queen or anything like that, or what is that they call it, the class clown or all that most popular stuff. I think one time my mom said, I haven't told this on there, but she entered us into those little pageant things, like the little kids at the little fairs, they have the little princesses and the little princes and all, boys and girls stuff, pageant stuff. I think she said we ended up winning them. I think when we entered them, I think she said we won them. I could be wrong, but like I said, you're a lot cuter when you're a baby. That's one thing about it. When you're a kid, everybody, you know, does stuff for you that you don't even ask for. They'll make you bed. They'll cook you dinner. Uh, and all that stuff. And then, like when you and like me for the longest time, I didn't have any facial hair. I didn't have to worry about that. I remember when I started having to worry about, growing out a beard and stuff. I was like, oh no, But my dad, I don't think I've told this story on here, but my dad, oh man, every time she opens that door, I swear I jump. That thing squeaks. I know what it is, but I know it. But my dad said, I hope you boys never get these kidney stones. He showed me what one was, and a lot of times he could pass them through, but once we got a certain age and he was almost for certain we wouldn't have to have that happen to us. He showed us what one of them was. And said them things hurt like I don't know what. And my dad, he's you know he worked all his life pretty much. Had uh, my mom. I think at one time she worked a few places, was a nurse or something there for a short while, or went to college, tried to do something, but she, like I said, a lot of times it never materialized. I don't know as much about her, but my dad, he worked at Peyton's for 17 years. He worked at Burger King for a very short time before when he went up there to California to stay with my brother and them for a while. He worked at Ingles down here in Athens, Tennessee, for a few years before he passed. And then there used to be an old factory up over here by where the jail's at. I don't know what it's called now, but when we were little, he worked over there. I can't remember now what it was called. He worked over there now, but he worked over there at that for a while. Me, I've just had a few jobs, a few part-time jobs. Wasn't able to keep them, but hey, if I had 8.5 years, all together, got, where's those, do you have those Hardee's cards things that they used to hand out for Hardee's? I'll put
I'll
them
get in a
on.
minute.
I just thought of that. I was going to show you some stuff I got from Hardee's. I got them. I think they're over here.
You have some pictures of your dad.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we can stretch this out a little while. Hang on just a minute. I was trying to find something that we ain't done. Hang on just a minute. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, right here. Okay, this was. I'm gonna look at them so I can see what one is the first one. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, this is the first one right here.
This is his dad,
Oh,
Danny.
yeah.
That's his dad.
Yeah, you can't really see it, but you know it's a little
That's his
blurry.
dad.
We got one that
This
looks.
is Derek. That's Derek. This is his Undertaker cake.
Yeah.
That's Derek again.
Oh, we don't have one.
And that's his Undertaker cake. You got those.
Okay. This is the first year I dated it. This is where I worked parties down here in Decatur. And then on the inside, they put that on there. That was year one. I'm gonna put these on.
Okay.
Here's the second one. And the reason I didn't get a fifth card, because I said I worked close to 5 years, I liked about 3 weeks getting another one of these cards when I had to end up quitting. Here's the second one. Show that first. And then they put this inside. And there's this one.
Damn.
I just like I said, I dated it. But let's see. And then there's what they put in that one.
No, I put it in there.
And then the last card, it looks a little different. They changed their little thing a little bit. This is the last one I got.
Well, I think it's in that other box.
And then they put this in there.
Let me go see the other box.
We're gonna see if we can find some other stuff. I was trying to come up with some other things that we hadn't done yet. I hope I can find some of them other pictures. I have some better pictures of my dad somewhere. But you know. There we go. I hope everybody that's watching is having a little bit of fun. Sorry if we're boring you. We're just trying to put stuff out that we hadn't put out on a video before. So it takes us a minute. Just be patient if you can. Like I said, you can always go back and watch it if you didn't get to see us on here. I don't know how long we're going to be on today. We're already almost at 3 hours. Holy cow. Man, I tell you what, time flies by when you start talking, finding things. Huh?
I can't find my phone for that. No, I tried it somewhere. On this Wednesday, I thought it's not from Kroger. I want to move it. That was my favorite picture of your dad.
It's probably, It might be in one of them boxes. We never know what we threw in them boxes. Cool. But anyway, I mean, sorry for the bad pictures, but you know that's the best that we could do. I had a few more. I had some of me and him together when we was younger, but you can definitely tell, you know, that I look like him.
Just like
So,
I can't find it right now.
okay. Well, that's all right. Is there anything else? Let's see what else I got in. Trying to see if I had anything else that we could throw in here. Let's see. Oh, just a picture. Oh, that's the one.
See, he likes things like this stuff. And this is what kind of I've been looking for, but
Yeah. She gets a lot of that crap in the mail, and it's just costly. Too costly.
See, that's the picture right there.
She just saves them
Yeah.
just to look at. It's too high. Stuff's like $100 something. Yeah, every once in a while we get stuff like that through the mail. But if we find any other stuff like that, pictures or something that would,
This is the fair we go to.
well, there's, let's see. That's, where's the front?
I think we threw it away.
Yeah, so this is like what comes down here at the fair. You know, they have stuff like this, local stuff. It's a small fair. It's, you know, just trying to see if they have like. And like I say, every year they have somebody sponsors every night, so it don't cost nothing to get in. Don't really see if there's anything I could see. But yeah, they usually have like the little kiddie rides and stuff like that. I go to basically go to play the games. You know, I might just have a little bit of money, but I go just to try them out. And good at darts and stuff like that. You know, and like I said, one of them couple of fish that time, and she won herself one.
I made both.
But
I made both of my fish.
but you had three.
I had two.
I got you two, and you got one.
Oh yeah.
I got one year. The next year I came back, got another one, and she wanted to play, and she got one. But yeah, the fish stuff. Trying to take care of a live fish is pretty tough. You know, it's they're, you know, I don't think I put this out there, but my great grandmother, or not my great grandmother, but my grandmother had a fish tank with a couple of fishes in it. And she had won them, I think. She told me, I think, a long time ago at the fair, or Jason or somebody, one of her younger kids won them. And they lived a long time. They grew big, and you had to, you know, the bigger they get, the bigger the tank has to be, or you have to have a bigger tank. and she had one of those glass tanks. I remember that as a kid being up there when I was up there, but living when I was living with Granny. But uh, yeah, like I said, everything's just what it is. Everything's different. Now when you're older, you have to learn that when you're in the kids stages, you get a lot more, you get spoiled a lot more, and for some reason or other, they go the extra mile. You don't ask them to. Knowing like all kids, we all don't get what we want when we want it and all that stuff. But a lot of times when you don't ask, they want to do stuff, And sometimes, like me, you could be promised one thing and do another. But yeah, we're happy that y'all came out and are watching the video. We're trying to come up with stuff we hadn't put out on the video or talked about. So, and a lot of it's up here in my head, memories, that I was in Special Olympics too as a child. I got one first place ribbon, but I did tennis ball throw, softball throw, and stuff like that. Uh, Special Olympics. I did it for 4 years. Uh, I also participated in field day. I was pretty good at. Uh, we used to do tug of war and all that stuff in school, and all that good stuff. Like I said, you know,
I do this kind of stuff.
oh,
On my car stuff.
here's some of her stuff she does.
These are the kind of stuff I like to look at. And then I got that one,
Oh.
that one, and that one.
There's,
I'll make stuff.
there you go. Fix it up. Oh, it went back.
Yeah, I'll make that for Roger and you.
But she does stuff like that. She colors. You got any of those little coloring things that you do? We might put a few of these out here in a little bit. Try and do something a little different. No, just show them what you do at home. We said a lot of this stuff in that
I still save on them.
6-hour video.
I got that,
Oh.
that, and that. It's a cardboard. You can hang them up.
Oh. You got any pictures you cut?
Yeah. I got a whole bunch of them. All my stuff. Like,
Sometimes she draws too a little bit.
See, like I colored one of these. I like cats.
Yeah.
And I draw these.
She draws and colors any kind of thing.
Yeah.
She draws different stuff. It's not anything
Any good.
perfect, but hey, more than I can do.
I can't draw for that.
That's more than I can do. Oh no, we'll never get that good.
No, I wish you would teach me, Sean. I wish you would teach me.
But anyway, just wanted to show you a couple little things different. Try to do anything different. But if anybody's watching or anything, and you want to ask us any questions or know anything, just go ahead. Let's see if we can find a few other little things. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah. Right, I drew this one before his daddy passed away.
Oh,
I remember.
oh, that's one she wanted you to see. She drew that.
For his daddy before he died. Died.
Like I say, it ain't perfect, but you know.
I think that's it.
Do you want to show them any of the? What about your? What about that dog up there? Some of that.
Oh, lady.
Oh yeah, I forgot what you called. I forgot.
What are you talking about? Lady.
Lady.
Lady. Yeah. So lady. Lady. Come here, lady. Don't cry, baby. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. This is Lady that I rescued.
She found this out there in the ditch. She saw something sticking out. It was this thing somebody
They're out the window.
threw out or something.
Yeah. Her
She
name is Lady.
so she named it Lady.
After the movie, the Disney Channel, Lady and the Tramp. Tramp.
Okay.
And I collect these. I
Yeah.
collect these right
Got a
here.
couple of those. Let's see.
This reminds me
Okay.
of me and my husband when we got married. That mommy when we got married. Married, I remember. I've got a Santa one. I like Santa. Santa. I collect snowmen too. I collect snowmen. I collect those. These are my little bunnies, the ones that Pam's telling that got broke. That one that broke my bunny.
Yeah.
You
Still can't. I'm like I said, as that person who regretted ever being up here.
I got these one that my neighbor gave me because he knows I like Disney. Disney, he found out on the ground.
Yes.
And that came from Makes Me a Tree. I clicked those for Christmas tree. Christmas tree.
But anyway, it's a lot of her stuff there. We got. Uh-oh. Oh.
Got that.
You got all kinds.
Elephants, I collect those. Got little angels I collect now, and I collect bunnies.
There we
That's
go.
what I
Here.
collect.
But anyway, that's what we got over there on the stand. But hopefully we've come out and done a few things different, made a little different video, trying to make it a little different. But again,
And I collect these.
oh, you know,
And I collect flowers. Flowers like that. My husband got those flowers. I put them in a little vase.
okay.
And
And,
these. Christmas trees. I collect those. Let's see that.
But yeah, we wow, almost 3 hours. So looks like we're going to at least do half of what we did yesterday. It wasn't too bad.
And I got one more.
Oh, one more.
And I click this one.
Yeah. So, something else we thought we would talk about? No? Okay. Well, I'll give it a few minutes. See here. We'll at least make it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 3 hours. Okay. But we just thought we'd come out. So if there's anybody new or something. Oh, wait a minute.
Can you shout out my brother, Richard Jordan? Hi, brother Richard Jordan. How are you, buddy?
I guess it's another birthday. We've been getting a lot of these requests for birthdays.
Happy birthday.
It may be a birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy.
But we just thought we'd come out and see what we could, if like I said, if you just joined in, just go back and watch the videos. There's some we talk about the family stuff, about me and my wife's stuff, and all the good and the bad. Try to get everything out because of what happened yesterday. So if anybody wanted to know all that stuff, but we're trying to end on a good note too. So there's some good stuff mixed in. And yesterday I got a request to do a video for karaoke. Me and my wife did one. So like I said, we also if there's somebody new, we had a unicorn thing open. Bestie offer opened up. Anybody wants to, take it. If you're in the local area, somewhere between Decatur, where we're at, Decatur, Tennessee, and Athens or something, somewhere nearby. Because we don't expect people far off to do anything. So, but
Thanks, pimps. You're welcome.
But we're just, if you got any questions, if you're new, even if we've already answered them, if you're new, we'll stay on here a little longer if we need to.
Brush and no stop.
Mm-hmm.
That's a new scrubber.
Oh.
So we got 40 now.
So I got 40. I was hoping to get at least one new one today.
Wow, we're popular, honey.
Getting there anyway.
We're getting popular. That's what they call us, our pimps.
But anyway.
This is your queen. Peace out.
But there was somebody aggravating us or playing around or something, or saying some of that stuff.
Hey, it was funny to me. It was getting me to giggle.
Yeah.
She don't like me to see me upset.
But some of them we had one or two. We had to just kind of end up, doing away with last night and yesterday. A couple of them. Like I said, because some of you ask personal questions, and I'll address this real quick in case there's new ones. You may like what we say as advice, and you may not, but we don't want to have anybody hating on us or putting us down or anything. So, if you ask us at our own risk. And if we haven't been through that situation, I always say there's always a solution, and I know the solution, even if I've not been there. You can trust me. I'll help you if you want it. You can take my advice or you can leave it.
No.
What is it?
No.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
No.
Yeah, all that stuff's old.
No, this one.
But anyway. But let's see. I think we've shown about all the stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we just thought we'd come out and address, some stuff that we had to get out early this morning. But if you're new and have any questions, like I say, watch the last couple of videos, especially watch the one from yesterday. It's 6 hours, 1 minute, 4 seconds. So you get a lot there. We didn't even intend on it going that long, but we went half of what we had yesterday. So anyway, I think.
I love you, babe.
Love you, sweetheart. But anyway, if there's anybody new or just a handicapped couple, and uh,
It's okay if I go take a shower now.
yeah, if you want to. She's gonna go to the thrift store in a little bit. So anyway, is there anybody else that wants to go back and look at the videos, go back and look at them. We've got our own list, playlist where we save these videos, at least most of them, ones that we like the most or ones that we spend a lot of time on. So just go back and watch that playlist, and you'll learn a lot about us. So if you're somebody new, if we're out here, you can always holler back at us. Then we may try to do one. Maybe what time is it? I might do one more before we go to bed tonight. Probably sometime later on, probably around 7 or so. Maybe check on everybody one more time. But anyway, we've went a little while, so I'm going to go ahead and call this one, I think, for tonight. And like I said, thanks to all of our subscribers, and hope you get something out of it. The good will outweigh all the bad, and just take it for what we will, and just hang in there. Things will get better eventually. But if anybody needs any advice or anything, just feel free to ask for it. Even though if I've not been through it, I'll help you. If you want it. If you don't ask. If you need to ask my wife one of them kind of questions, but like I said, but we thank everybody, and we'll see y'all later on, okay?